Hello, how are you today? This is the Garden of Ena podcast. Today I wanted to talk about human design and the importance of learning about your unique energetic blueprint, right? So, a lot of us are wondering, at least I know I was, what the hell is my purpose? What am I here to do? Um, what do I need to be? All those questions, right? So then I went on a journey of self discovery. I've first of all, let me just back it all the way up. I've always been one to want to know why, right? Why are we the way we are? Why is things the way that they are? Why do we do what we do? And what is my purpose? All of those things. So, when I was introduced or I found like astrology and numerology, those kinds of things that kind of gave you that more in depth insight into why things were, even like reading the Bible, like how do we come here? How do we come to be? Those kind of questions were always in my mind. And when I learned about human design, it kind of proved that, yeah, you were made to think about those things. You were made to try to find the answers to those things. And so my natural curiosity, my natural search for the answers led me here to human design, and I love it here. And I want to encourage everyone to learn about human design, or learn about at least your energetic blueprint, because it will tell you your literal God-given design. Like, it will tell you what you are literally created and born to do. One thing I'll say too that was really interesting was that um, when I learned about purpose, I learned about my gifts, but then I realized after doing some contemplating that I've always been implementing or exercising my gift and my purpose, right? I've always done that. I mean, on some real basic shit. Let me just say this. When you think about purpose, you're probably thinking like this grand thing, like showing up online or running a business or whatever. But your purpose is the shit you do every day. I mean, some real basic shit, like everyday stuff, how you raise your family or raise your children, how you run your household, how you live your life. All your purpose is being expressed in all of that. While I'm speaking on that, I wanted to bring up a quote from Nnenna of Erah Society. I love her. She's great. She's a great spiritual teacher. But she had a really interesting quote that I love, and I wrote it down, and I'm like keeping it in like my daily reference material, just to kind of keep me on track with life and my thoughts and stuff like that. But I'll share with you guys. So she said, stop looking for purpose, start creating it. Purpose isn't a noun, it's a verb. It's the expression of being you. The form requires love and is simply the conduit carrying the truth of who you are. But know that self love is hard only when you're trying to love a self that's not you. And again, this is a quote that I got from Jasmine and Nina. This was great. Like, it was a lot of gems in there. So basically, like the whole point, like I was mentioning before, about purpose and how you're expressing it every day, is that we're literally, it is a verb. Purpose is what you do. It's you can't help but express your purpose, right? But the thing about human design and having conscious awareness of it is that you become more conscious of it, and you can live it more intentionally, and you can connect with it. I think when you know something is happening um to you, or you're doing something, it's good to be aware of it, because it just brings greater awareness, and you can connect more to who you are. Because although a lot of us are already expressing ourselves and living out our purpose in different areas of our life, or at different times of our life, because it's kind of like something that you can do, that you it's with you. And I say off and on, like, you notice it, is because maybe some life examples, when you reflect on it, stand out more than others, right? But it's good to be conscious of it, especially when you're in question of, what am I here to do? What am I here? What am I? It's be conscious of it, because you could settle that in your spirit to know that, oh, I know what my purpose is. I reflected on it. I see that it's already at play and at work, and I can just continue to trust. Now I can consciously and intentionally trust that I am on the right track in life. I am showing up on time and on purpose, because I am divinely created, and I'm divinely expressing myself in time. When we were created with a purpose, a mission. We were implanted with seeds of purpose within us, and those seeds sprout in its season, right? It sprouts in each of us different at different times, and we're all sprouting a different expression or a different herb or a different flower, whatever you're meant to be in the garden of life, right? Again, I'm tying in my podcast, The Garden of Nnenna, and I believe that all of us are different plants or different herbs, or we're growing in different ways, right? So you just have to trust that you're okay, because you are. We didn't create ourselves. We are creations. We're our creators, and we are creations. And this human design will give you your literal energetic blueprint. So I love that. So when you learn about human design, you learn that there's different types of energy. We're all here expressing different types of energy, and energy is life force. It's the literal life force energy, the things that animate us, the things that we're here expressing every day, right? So you have manifestors. There's five energy types. You have manifestors. You have manifesting generators. You have generators, just plain generators. You have projectors, and you have reflectors. Now, all of us are important, and all of us do different things in life. We all have a different purpose, and we're a different puzzle piece, a different part of the ingredients, or we're different ingredients, or you get what I'm saying. We're all uniquely designed and divine, and we all come together to make the collective, or to make the big picture in life, right? So a manifester, which is what I am, I'm a 5-1 splenic manifester. And we'll get into all those details like later on, maybe sometime throughout the podcast. But the manifester is the first one in the design to kick things off, to start it off, to inspire, to bring that spark. If we're referring to like herbs and things like that, I would be considered like a catalyst herb. You only need a little bit, but that little bit is very potent, very powerful. It'll get everything moving in the body. And so that is what I'm here to do in the collective. I'm here to bring forth a vision and get people interested and inspired. And then we move into the manifesting generator, who then they're responding to what it is that I'm bringing forth, or what the manifestor is bringing forth, and they are inspired to act on it, to make that thing a reality. They're here to help bring it forth into the material plane, right? So we get the manifestors get the divine downloads and the inspiration to start it. We get the vision. It's like it just happens. We get a creative urge. We're bringing it up. We're bringing it to the collective. We're informing people, hey, I got this idea. This is what's going on. Hey, did you know about this? We're expressing that vision, expressing that creative urge. The manifesting generators, they hear it, they receive it, and they want to respond. They want to go ahead and, all right, cool, I like that idea. I'm going to start building on that. I'm going to work on that. And then the generators, they see the manifesting generators at work, they're playing, then they come on to the building team, and they start implementing, and they start working on that too. And then we get the projectors. The projectors are the guides. So they're helping the builders with their creations. All right, y'all, as a projector. Okay, y'all, this is looking good. You might want to move this over to the left and move this over to the right. You might want to take a break, pause. Like they're here to help see and make sure that things are going according to plan, the big picture, the vision that they see in this project, right? So then after the vision was received, the builders build it and carry it forth, bring it through to reality. Then the last step is to put it out into the world. And the world, or the people that are receiving this information and experiencing this and providing the feedback that we as a collective need are called the reflectors. They're here to experience it and provide real-time information as to whether the shit worked or whether it didn't. What is happening? What was that vision? How did it turn out? Are we on track with life? Are we not on track with life? So they're going to reflect that back to us in just they're just living their expressions. Are they happy? Did they get depressed? Were they angry by it about it? Like what is the response, right? So they're here to reflect it back to us. So all of us work together to bring this big picture to life, right? And it's really interesting because when you look at like the actual energetic breakdown as far as like the percentages and how the population is working, and even like how we are designed to work in life, is pretty interesting. So as you can imagine, the greatest majority of the group out of all five energy types is the manifesting generators and the generators, the builders of the group. These are people that are coming here they have a lot of energy that can be sustained over a long period of time. Because if you're building something, it's going to take a long time, you typically, to get it done from start to finish. So these are people that they don't take long for them to recover their energy, to be able to wake up and apply themselves the next day to get things done. So hence that traditional 9 to 5 work schedule, right? They can deal with that. They can handle that. They got the capacity, they got the bandwidth, they got the energy to be able to do that. Mind you, it's really effortless and easy and flowy and all that when they're working on what they want to work on. Okay, that's a key point. Are they responding to the right things in life? Are they responding to things that light them up? Are they working and applying themselves on something that they really want to do? Right, that's the key component. So they are able to go to sleep and wake up and get the job done. They make up about 70 to 75% of the population. Taking it a step back to the how when it all started, the manifestors, people like me, we are the start of the whole process. And we don't need it don't take a large group of people to spark this off, but the spark is so big and so great that it just transfers into the whole collective and starts a big wave, a big movement. There's only a small percentage of us that are created, and we make up about 9% of the population. Remember, small portion but big potent energy, and then the builders take it from there and get it all going. The next group, so you got your manifestors, which is about 9% of the population. Then you got the largest group of people, the people that's going to build that shit and bring it to life and bring it into form, is about 70 to 75%. Those are the manifesting generators and the generators. And then you have the projectors guiding it, and the managers, basically the guides and managers, to make sure things are running smoothly and efficiently. And they make up about 30% of the population. And then the receivers, the reflectors of the whole collective that make us up, make this whole big picture complete, is the reflectors, and they make up about 2 to 3% of the population. So there you have the breakdown of how we're all created and designed. It's really interesting to note the percentages of people. I want to make one mention though, I guess because I'm a manifestor working in a 70 to 75% generator world, that I want to just put this out there to my other fellow non-sacral beings, and those are manifestors, projectors, and reflectors. Those people that don't have that life force energy, where they only require a little bit of rest, and they can wake up and apply themselves 8 hours a day, like those beautiful generators and manifesting generators. To all those that don't have that kind of makeup, don't worry about that shit. Love yourself and appreciate the fact that you don't have to have that, and try to figure out how you want to apply your energy throughout the day. It's very important, and human design will help you with that we're actually not designed to work 8-hour days. We're meant to only work a small percentage of the day, because that's how we were designed to be. If we go any longer than that, you're about to lead to burnout, right? And when I say work and an energy output, you need to be very strategic about how you use your energy. You want to be very mindful and intentional. And that goes to say, with the work you do, with like a 9 to 5 type job, your entrepreneurial job, your your daily living, like if you got a family, like all of those things need to be taken into consideration and accounted for, because that's energy output. And if you over here overextending yourself and thinking you about to do this and this and that, you gonna burn out or always wake up depleted and like, oh shit, I'm tired. Why do I need 50 damn hours to get my shit together, to get rested and rejuvenated? It's because you're not being strategic and intentional about your energy type, right? And don't be a woman. Don't be a natural, you know, woman that's born with hormones and all of that, because we got to take that shit into consideration too, right? A lot of us already know about like planning your days and your events according to your period. You want to be mindful of that as well. So energy is real, energy is at work, and you want to just be more aware, because a lot of us now, I want to say, a lot of us are awakening to we're becoming more aware spiritually, aware. We're aware of like things that we just never heard of before. I know me, I'm 41, right? The period, right? The period, perimenopause, menopause, like there's so much more information that was not available to us before. It's incredible. Even with the rise in people learning about herbalism and really the resurgence of the esoteric studies, like all of these tools were divinely given to us to get more clarity, more insight into how to live a better life, right? A better life. And to be more spiritually connected, because we're spiritual beings as well as physical beings. And we need to make sure that we're living in alignment and balance with those two energies, right? So if you have a good spiritual awareness and wellness, you're intact with that, that's going to radiate out into the world. Your body's going to be in alignment, your health, your actions, the way that you move and you live, and how you intake information, and all of those things are going to be impacted if you're spiritually grounded and you have faith, right? And I want to say that all of this is grounded in love and spirit. And for me, I do believe in Yah and Yeshua, and all that spirit is what is emanating in me and through all of these systems, right? I believe the Bible gives us a lot of good information, but if you go beyond the Bible and you are a true student of the word, and you can see the word in all different things, all different areas of life, it's amazing on how you see all this coming together, right? How you see all of this coming together. And you start seeing Yah and Yeshua in different studies. Like all of us have different ways that we got to spirit. And if it is embedded in love, you will see that reflected in everything, in all the different religions, all the different spiritual modalities. You'll see a constant thread in all of it. And all of it is embedded in love and light. And it's all here to make us greater as a whole, to bring us together, to help us embody that light. And that's what we're here to do. And that's where I'm coming from with this. And I see that in all the different things that I study, and it's just amazing, and it's great. And it's nice to see it all kind of tie together. Just for instance, with the Bible and the esoteric studies, I saw in, I think it's 1 Corinthians chapter 12 about the spiritual gifts, right? And it was really interesting to see how there are like 9 spiritual gifts that we're given. And I'll just note this too. 1 Corinthians is in the New Testament, and the New Testament came after Yeshua or Christ had already came, died, rose again, and went back to heaven. So these are gifts that were received or that were given or expressed or mentioned in the Bible after he had already came. And I mentioned that piece because one of the spiritual gifts is prophecy. And before I really learned about all of this, the esoteric studies, and I was trying to see if there was a link in between prophecy and the Bible, I always thought that prophecy was only pertaining to when, prophesying the coming of Christ or coming of Yeshua. But prophecy is prophecy. There were prophets, the ones that we know from the Bible, that did prophesy the coming of Christ. But there's still general prophets, even today. that help the everyday humans like us with providing insight from their divine downloads. Now, it's good to have the spirit of discernment to understand who is who, right? And you'll know them by their fruits. But prophecy is a spiritual gift. And it is a spiritual gift that we have even after Yeshua has come and gone and is, definitely alive and well. But it extends beyond the prophecy of him coming to earth, right? So that is one of the spiritual gifts. The other one is knowledge, having the spirit of knowledge, being able to speak in different tongues, which means different languages, and different languages translates into like astrology is a language, human design is a language, numerology is a language, a language that is spoken to help communicate, right? So speaking in different languages or tongues is a spiritual gift. Being able to interpret different languages, again, interpret astrological language, cosmic awareness, being able to interpret that and provide insight to the everyday person, making it plain and simple, is a spiritual gift. Having the spirit of wisdom, and when you read the Bible, it is they reference wisdom as a spirit. Is a spirit that you are embodying. That is a spiritual gift. That's something that a spirit that dwells in you, and allows you to express these gifts. Some people are born that way. These are your oracles or your sages. And then the spirit of faith is a spiritual gift. And the gift of healing. So you got your herbalists, your healers, right? Energy healers, sound bath healers, whatever healer that you are here, and you have the spirit of love and light in you, and you are here to bring forth that high polarity energetic vibration and frequency. That is the kind of healing you do. That is a spiritual gift from the creator, from God, from Yah, the universe, whatever you say, but I say from Yah. These are the spiritual gifts that he's given us. And then discerning of spirits, being able to use discernment, like, okay, is this the spirit of light or is it the spirit of darkness? Like, what are we doing here, right? You have that ability to discern. And then lastly, the spiritual gift of working miracles. So I was like, that's some dope shit. That's some dope shit, right? I love that. So it's like, wow. So I love seeing, because I love the esoteric world, because it just provides so much more insight and awareness. And it's just fun. I just have a natural desire and passion to go down that road. And it's just beautiful to see that it's in the Bible as well. All of these things are there. And I'm sure other people who study from different religious backgrounds, they'll see it in their cultures as well. If you take a look, and remember, as long as it's coming from love and light, you are good, right? It's all about intention. What is your intention? Another thing I also bring up is when it comes to intention, is like healers, for instance, herbalists. We all know that God gave us medicine to heal ourselves. That's also found in the Bible. Giving us medicine to heal ourselves, right? There's medicine that could, and there's even some herbs that can heal or kill. Like poke, for instance, poke weed. Depending on how you're using it and when you use it, at what stage of its life you use it, you're gonna either have some food, some medicine, or a death trap. It just depends. Even if something that's not even herb, water is essential to all of us. We all need water. But you can drown somebody with water. It could destroy, destroy the earth. Water, fire, like simple things that we need. But it's just about your intention. What are you trying to do with that shit? Are you trying to harm or heal? It's just as simple as that. So when you are learning about these things, especially if you're new and you're kind of conflicted, I know I was in the beginning like, oh my God, is this right? But I just trusted that I'm being pulled in the right direction. I know what's going on in my heart. I know what my intentions are. It's about love and light. And if it's bringing greater awareness and you are staying true to your spiritual beliefs and you're grounded in that, then you all good, right? Are you trying to create some shit that's going to destroy? Or are you trying to create some shit that's going to heal? right? It's just a matter of fact. This is simple and plain. So I just wanted to bring today, some awareness to the fact that there are tools available for us to gain more insight into our energetic blueprint, our energetic makeup, and there's answers for us out there as far as what we're here to do. There's ways that we can connect to that, and opportunity for us to express ourselves intentionally with clarity and with love and light. And on this podcast, I'm going to just go into more detail about this and just share some more insights with you. But today, I just wanted to just go ahead and jump out there and share this information. And of course, in the bio or in the link below will be links to some energy readings. So if you're interested, I am doing energy readings. I will be having other opportunities to hold classes. So I'll teach you how to read your own energy chart, so that you could know how to navigate your charts and understand what you're looking at. So more to come on that. So out of all these podcasts, if you ain't did no podcast or watch a YouTube video, you already know all more information is in the bottom. But yeah, so y'all stay tuned. Thank you for joining me today on the Garden of Ina podcast, and y'all take care.